Welcome, bet riders around the world. My name is Gary Solomon, and you're watching the Laid Back Bike Report. Great to have you with us today, guys. Let me tell you what's on today's show. We're going to kick it off with Honza Gala and Recumbent news, as usual. Honza's got a news report that he's put together for us, and then we're going to get into the meat of the show. Well, let's see. We're going to kick that part of the show off with an interview with the Wolf brothers, the fellas who put on the Spezi show every year in Germany. So we'll have a preview of the 2025 show that Trey and I and our wives will be attending later this month. We're very excited about that. Then in our featured segment, we are going to show you a very unusual and amazing light electric vehicle called the Veemo. This is from a company in Vancouver, British Columbia. And I think you're going to enjoy hearing all about that. And then we're going to bring an old friend back, David Brandenberger, with Solatrike. David has been touring the world over a number of years, and he's going to continue his tour this year, and he's going to tell us all about what he's got in mind. And he'll give us a little review of where he has been. And it's been about everywhere, guys. It's pretty amazing. All right, let's start by introducing our crew today. There we go. We first of all have our amazing director, Larry Seidman in Colorado Springs. Larry, how's it going?
It's going good. Warming up finally.
Good, good. And down in Raymond, Mississippi, it is our media man. It's Trey Burgoyne. Trey, how are you doing?
Dandy. Howdy, folks. Good to be here.
And we're really happy to have our old pal back from Alfred Station, New York. It's Peter Stoll, the bicycle man. Peter, thanks for coming with us today.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's going to be a fun show. Looking forward to it.
Well, thanks for putting the pressure on. I appreciate it. Okay, great. We're glad you're with us too. Okay, guys. So first of all, we'd like you all to be able to participate in the show. If you're watching us live, you could do that by joining the live chat on both Facebook and YouTube. Type in a comment. Ask a question that pertains to our guests. Just chat amongst yourselves, and please let us know if you're watching, where you're watching from. We always like to be able to see that as well. Now, how can you support the Laid Back Bike Report? You can like us on Facebook. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, and you can click that little white eye up there. It'll take you to the Laid Back Bike Report website. And while you're there, you can see what we've done in the past. Click on past shows, see what's coming up. You can check out our audio podcasts, which we have from every show. And, you can buy one of our Laid Back Bike Report hats. We always appreciate you supporting us like that. And you can become a Patreon like these folks have for as little as $1 a month. So support us if you can. We appreciate that. We also are supported by some amazing sponsors. Let me tell you about them right now. First of all, we have TerraCycle. Why sit up when you can lay back? TerraCycle engineers the recumbent essentials to take your ride to the next level. Find us at t-cycle.com. And Trailside Trikes, a fine recumbent trike shop on the Withlacoochee Trail in Florida. And TerraTrike Green Speed. Your vision, whatever it is, TerraTrike has a trike to take you there. And Green Speed cutting-edge designs create performance through Aussie ingenuity. And Laid Back Cycles, your go-to store for Cat Trike, Ice, TerraTrike, and now Azub recumbent trikes. They ship nationwide and offer financing to get you rolling. Plus, check out Laidback Mickey on YouTube for all the latest tips and reviews on recumbent trikes. And Bicycle Man, where you can find new and used recumbent trikes and bikes. We're located in Alfred Station, New York, have over 100 bets in stock and ready to try. So why wait? Come ride, then decide. And AZUB. The team at AZUB is proud to offer the latest 5th generation Bosch Performance CX motor. The CX offers 250 watts of nominal power, up to 600 watts of maximum power, and 85 Newton meters of torque. The optional dual battery system has an impressive range of up to 200 miles. The system can also link the electronic shifting of the roll-off gearbox, something that no other motor but Bosch allows. To learn more about all this, visit azub.eu and feel free to configure your dream bike. And Connecticut Yankee Peddler. We feature multiple brands of trikes, including electric assist models. Test rides in Southern Iowa hospitality are always available at our mega store in Chariton. And Stein Trikes, where comfort meets performance, engineered for adventure and built for the journey. Check out stein-trikes-us.com to learn more. And Honza Bikes. Come see us on Trike Alley at the Philly Bike Expo. Well, the Philly Bike Expo actually was last month, folks, but let me tell you a little bit more about Honza. They have recumbents, cargo bikes, hand cycles, tandems, and trikes for all ages and abilities, including the new Ketweasel 1. Test rides will be available. All right, guys, I think Hans is actually going to talk about that Ketweasel 1 in the news report that he has sent to us. So without further ado, Larry, let's have a look at Hans's news report today.
Hi, guys. Honza Gala from Recumbent.news here with a summary of what has happened in the month of March 2025 in the world of recumbent bikes. There are two new interesting motor stuff, electric motor stuff. And then there is one more item, which is more US related, say. So, Dana Lieberman from the owner of Budget Bikes has announced a new version of our new Budget Pronto Alto electric two-wheeler, electric recumbent two-wheeler, they call this type of bike a stick bike, but the major thing is that it has an integrated battery in the frame, and also the motor is basically integrated as well. It has the Bafang M510 motor, 250 watts, 95 Newton meters, and the battery is 14 ampere hours. So it is a really very nice electric recumbent, very clean, very sleek and modern looking. And there is also the Bacetta Bella in electric version coming with the same electric setup and integrated battery as well, which looks very nice, but we will need to wait for the final pictures, maybe a couple more days or weeks. We will see. Another news is that Honza Bikes shown the Ketweasel 1, the new version of Ketweasel in Düsseldorf during the Cycling World show in Düsseldorf, Germany. They have shown it with a Bosch Performance CX motor, which is the top model from the German motor manufacturer. It is, we don't have any official information yet, but what we could see was the CX motor in its latest 5th generation edition. It has 250 watts. It has 85 Newton meters. It looked like 800 watt-hours battery on the bike, but I could see it just quickly. So it might be a lower capacity. It has the Purion 200 controller, and we don't know about all the other options yet. What we have kind of preliminary information is that they will offer it for the Cat Weasel 1 only at the moment, and then later they will see whether they will offer it for the other models as well. There are also, they will keep the Shimano motors available for Cat Weasel 1. So this is kind of a new option for the customers. And finally, although this is maybe a bit too early to say, but I have to mention it, that there are new US tariffs for bicycles and bicycle parts, and basically all the products that were announced by President Donald Trump last Wednesday, I guess, or Thursday, based where are you living. And if they stay in the values as they were announced, it will shaken the recumbent market in the US for sure, at least for the very early times. There is hardly any chance that the prices would stay at the levels they are right now long term, because basically only cat trike, tight trikes, and triad, we say, are really producing the bikes in the US with most of the US parts. Otherwise, Solatrike, Greenspeed, Trident, all those brands are producing or sourcing most of the parts in Asia. And then, of course, all the European brands will be affected. Those will be affected pretty much instantly because they are imported and they are custom built and imported one by one, basically. So there won't be so much stock in the US as it would be with Solatrike and Greenspeed, say, or Trident. So we will see what will happen. The crucial time should be Thursday next week, the Thursday 10th, when they should be really applied, and maybe the next coming month. And I believe that all the brands will need to adjust their conditions sooner or later. So we'll see how that will continue. Okay, this is it. Have a great time and enjoy the rest of the Laid Back Bike Report. Bye.
All right, thanks, Honza. And Honza's not with us today. It's actually his son's birthday, so we gave him the day off to spend with his family. We appreciate the report, Honza. We will keep our eyes on the tariff situation, which, as you say, will have some interesting effects on the sales of all sorts of bikes here in the U.S., among other things. But we'll focus on the bike part. But let's let it all settle out. We will probably talk about it next month or the month after. So, all right, with that, let's move along to our featured segment this month. We were fortunate enough to be contacted by Veemo. The company is actually Envo. Veemo is the product, and it is a light electric vehicle. We had a nice chat with Sam and Ali from the Envo company, talking all about it and showing you what it can do. And it's really a pretty reasonable price as well, I think you'll find. So let's have a look at the Veemo, Larry. With me today are Sam and Ali from the company Envo, making a product called Veemo that I think you're going to be interested in. Gentlemen, welcome to the Laid Back Bike Report.
Thank you very much.
All right. So what is the Veemo? This is a product that Sam contacted me about, and it's a very exciting light electric vehicle, the category that we like to use here. It's a transportation product that I think will be interesting to you. So let's maybe kick it off with Ali, first of all, by talking about the company. First, we'll get an overall view, and then we'll start talking about the product. So, Ali, could you tell us a little bit about the history of Envo?
Envo is a company of passion. I'm the founder of the company. I moved to Canada as a part of my immigration plan. I was looking to find my passion job, which was mobility and clean transportation. I searched a lot for the job to find. I didn't actually find the company, and I ended up making that company. So Envo is the result of that. It was a one-man show 10 years ago, and now we are a team of passionate engineers. We are a Canadian company in Vancouver, West Coast. Currently, we have a wide variety of micromobility and e-mobility products in our portfolio, which have all been engineered based on the niche requirements that we have observed in the market. And we are offering this to market. It's not anymore a startup company. So we have many cool and innovative products that anything from different types of e-bikes for different variety of use cases, all the way to snow bikes, electric ATVs, Veelo-mobiles, which we want to talk about it today, and electric scooters, etc. And we sell these products through different channels, so it has a self-sustained and growing business. We sell direct to consumer. We sell through 140-something dealers across North America, and some partnerships with big box like Costco and Best Buy in Canada.
Sam, you oversee the Veemo, and tell us a little bit about what you do with the Veemo.
I'm the product manager for the Veemo. I've been working on the development side for the Veemo for about 2 years now. Basically my job when I first arrived at Envo was taking a pre-existing version of the Veemo and redesigning it to fit within the constraints of the Envo powertrain, and making sure that the Veemo is a more economically feasible product to make. And something that we can actually bring to market.
Let's actually maybe take a look at the Veemo. So you did a really nice video walkthrough of the product itself. And I don't think there's a better way for the folks to get an idea about the Veemo SE than watching this. So let's have a look at that right now.
So this is all about a little walkthrough about the Veemo SE. So the Veemo is an e-bike where you have a protected cabin, and you can stay comfortable and away from the rain and any of the elements that you don't want to be in. In order to turn the Veemo on, all you have to do is hit this button over here. And now I have electric assist to work with. So I can adjust the amount of electric assist here all the way up to level 5, which is going to give me plenty of power. In addition to the electric assist, I also have a throttle on this side. So turning this will let me go forward. In addition to the throttle, I have my pedals down here. So if I'm just in the regular assist mode, I can pedal here, and that's going to propel me forward. Some of the other things I have here on the dashboard are the lights here. So this is going to make me nice and visible at night. Got my horn. Can turn the lights on and off here for you to see. And then also the windshield wiper here. Over on the right side, I have my gear shifters. So I can change my gears here. I have a seat here, which is really very comfortable. A full backrest and a big seat cushion to sit on here. And then I can move this forward and backward depending on how tall I am. That will also give me access to the rear cargo area here, which is super useful for being able to carry around some groceries or any personal items that you might have. Overall, powertrain of the Veemo uses a chain-driven system with a rear hub motor here at the back. which is going to provide lots of range, fantastic efficiency, and an overall really pleasant ride experience. So the Veemo uses a 3-brake braking system. So the dual front brakes use a splitter, which come down from both handlebars, split at the bottom, and then each of these calipers are both controlled by one lever here at the top. So just like a regular bike, your left caliper is going to control your front brakes. A little bit more of a standard brake setup at the rear. This rear brake caliper is going to be controlled by the right brake lever. The Veemo comes with a UL2271 certified battery, which can be charged down here at the bottom on the Veemo, or it can also be removed from the Veemo and charged in your apartment, in your house, wherever you do your charging. The Veemo uses full suspension, independent suspension for the rear, right front, and left front of the vehicle. And that's going to translate to a really comfortable overall feeling. So I can basically go over any bumpy terrain with this vehicle and feel nice and comfortable. So now I'll give a demonstration of how the pedal assist feature works. So as soon as I start pedaling, the electric motor is going to engage as well and help me propel the vehicle. So the Veemo also has a parking brake here. So you can just press this down and now I can get out of the Veemo and not worry about it rolling away on me. Thank you for watching.
Envo. Move different.
Sam, can we talk a little bit about the specs of the Veemo itself?
I think really what makes Veemo special is the combination of features that it has compared to anything else on the market. So having a full weatherproof cabin above you while keeping a little bit more of a lightweight feeling, sort of more bike-like experience is something that's really special for Veemo because it really allows you to feel like you're a little bit more connected to your community, the road that you're on. You're not as isolated as you are in a car, and you still get a lot of those creature comforts that come with something that you would typically experience in a car, having a more comfortable seat, a little bit more protection from the elements, and just a little bit more of that stability. So in terms of specs to kind of go along with that, you can expect to get about 100 kilometers of range with the single battery. And so that will depend a little bit depending on how much pedal assist, electric assist you're using. So you can choose from levels 1 through 5. Obviously, the more power that you're using from the battery, the shorter that range is going to be overall if you're doing a little bit less work yourself. But because the Veemo does have pedals inside, you can do a lot of that work and really take it to quite a higher end of that range. In terms of power output, there's different power outputs depending on which region you're in. So in North America, we have a 750 watt version, whereas in Europe, the power limitations are a little bit lower. So it'll be 250 watts for that location. And then the other, I think, major kind of feature to talk about is that it has full suspension. So it has independent front, left, and right suspension, as well as suspension in the rear. So it really creates a nice, comfortable ride. From a weight perspective, we're looking at 61 kilograms or 135 pounds. For payload capacity, we're looking at 159 kilograms or 350 pounds.
Let's talk a little bit about who this product is for, guys. So there are a lot of possibilities I see for something like this, besides maybe even just individual sales. Who do you have in mind for this product?
Okay, so Envo's mission statement is right-sizing mobility for a healthier community. There are a lot of message in this mission statement. There have been some endeavors globally to develop some type of cargo bikes or some type of different mobility products that just provides alternative for people to use. And mainstream of these attempts have already failed, and mainly not the concept or the product, but the businesses have failed. Veemo used to be one of those efforts. Veemo used to be another company, a startup company based in Vancouver called Veelo-Metro. I think they started up this business like 12 years ago. And they spent or invested a lot of money in developing different generations of these products. But eventually the business didn't survive. And unfortunately, Veelo-Metro went down, and we took over the IP of that company after bankruptcy in the hope of adding another product in our portfolio of offering for people who basically cannot use e-bikes year round. So if you just look into the most efficient way of commuting or transportation or personal transportation in cities, nothing is better than e-bikes. It's very lightweight. It's very efficient, very powerful, very the performance is good. You can get from work to home even quicker than cars, but maybe 80% of people physically cannot use electric bikes or safely cannot use electric bikes year round. A large part of the year you cannot, weather doesn't allow you to comfortably use an e-bike for your commute. It's raining, it's snowing, it's hot, it's windy. There are several reasons. Veemo is one of the early attempts to solve that problem. Basically, the additional stability that this product offers, the additional safety that this product offers, and the minimal weather protection that this product offers is enabling the part of communities who traditionally weren't capable of using e-bikes in their day-to-day living.
Very nice. Ali, you touched on something earlier. It was extremely important in my view. So this is not the first light electric vehicle that has been created, and you're in an environment where there are quite a few out there, and probably more. I talked to the guys from Spezi just this morning, the trade show in Europe, and they have an explosion of new booths coming in this year with light electric vehicles. But the point you made earlier is a really good one. It doesn't matter. All these people can be creating these various products, and they may be good products on their own. But if you don't have a viable business force behind it that can have good enough capitalization, be there for the long run, then it's not a product that's going to be successful. And it sounds to me like that's what Envo is really swooped in and done here for this Veemo product. Is that a fair encapsulation of what you said?
Yes, exactly. That's the very important matter. I can confess that in the past 10, 15 years that I was doing this in North America, basically, I can witness very cool, very interesting, very innovative products that can, each individual of those products can address one of the niches out there that people really love to have and own and use these products, realized, but then soon after they went down because the business wasn't viable, and that was because of the nicheness of those products. Generally speaking, micromobility or anything in this space is talking about niches. It's not like cars or automobiles. You have one SUV, because it is inefficient and big enough, you can do whatever you want with that vehicle. You can commute, you can take your kid to school, you can go shopping, you can do farm work, you can do transportation, you can move your stuff, you can go to long road trip. That's the beauty of an SUV or a large scale car, but it's inefficient. To move you're moving 2 or 3 tons. You want to make it efficient, you lose the versatility of that vehicle. So the smaller vehicle cannot do everything for you. It needs to be designed and to that particular use case. And that makes the businesses challenge to offer these type of products. Because, you know, at the very early stage, a product like Veemo, it has a very niche market. We're talking about early adopters who accept to own and be the first frontliners of using these products in their day-to-day work. No other. Do you see any Veemo? Do you see any product like this that people are using in your cities? There have been some things before, like Elf was one example from Organic Transit. Even that company went down, unfortunately. That was a very good product, very good concept. A lot of people were showing interest to that product, but the business wasn't even at $10,000 cost point. That business wasn't viable because the number that the company were selling wasn't enough for the scale of investment or capitalization that were needed to make that to design and deliver the product to the customers. At Envo, we are doing a little differently. We have a little different approach than anyone else who have done this type of effort. If you look at in our website, you see we have a portfolio of products. Envo we are not doing a single product based business. We are leveraging different products, different niche products under within an ecosystem of micromobility products that shares same engineering, same marketing, same logistics, same customer service, same insurance, you know. And we offer different variety of different niche products. And some of our products aren't even niche, like electric bikes are very commonly used. It has a proven market, and we have been there for a while. We almost have 5% market share of Canada. And so these synergy between these products are helping us to bootstrap any individual concept, including Veemo. There's one more thing in the technical side, and that when we re-engineered Veemo, the cost of when we received the IP of the Veemo, the cost of this product were estimated at somewhere around $11,000. The way that the product was engineered. The re-engineering that we did, we started to use our philosophy of mass customization. Let's use the same battery that we are using in 5 other type of e-bikes that we have in our portfolio. Either let's use the same motor, let's use the same controller, let's use any part that and this is mass customization. This allows us to make the product more affordable based on the components that have already scaled the economy of scale in other products, and makes the cost of Veemo, brings the cost from $11,000 to $7,000, $69.99. So these are the benefit of this ecosystem approach, and this product can live in the same ecosystem gradually, and as the market become aware of this product, we grow the business and we sell more and we make more people owners of Veemos.
That's wonderful. Ellie, thank you for sharing the business case for this, because as I said earlier, I think it's so important, because if this doesn't become viable and your products are not viable, then we can talk about the technology of this all day long, and it doesn't matter, because you're going to sell 20, 30, 40, 50, and that's it, right? So that doesn't matter. Yeah. We want to see them in our cities. We want to see them around so people start to get the idea this is something that's workable, viable, and a product. And yes, and making it affordable. That's a legitimate case you made there. I don't see this very often either, because it's got to be competitive in some way. And Sam and I talked about this offline earlier about how I thought it was such a competitive case. So we're going to get to those details. Thank you for sharing that with us, Ali. What about commercial sales? Have you given some thought about delivery applications or rental fleets and this kind of thing? Do you have this in mind? What's the idea?
That has been a journey that Velometro, the company that we took over IP from, spent a good amount of maybe 3-4 years on this. It's a bigger project. It involves business developments that we are not strong at. You know, what I'm thinking as the founder CEO of this company is that, hey, we are good at developing and making and offering affordable products and commercializing it and making sure and guaranteeing that this product will exist for a longer period of time and it can get a support from our team, for our technical team. And the use cases and business development in other scales, we honestly speaking, we don't have bandwidth for that, but we're open for partnerships. So if there are fleet operators or fleet managers or fleet designers who are in need of a product that has the minimum viable specifications and can last for longer time and it's affordable, we are here to support them. We don't have to do everything by ourselves.
Sam, let's come back to you if we could. How is this all set up? How can people go about buying?
Yeah, there's a few different options for people to buy. So we're currently expanding our dealer network and a network of ambassadors who have bought the Veemo and who are really big fans of the product and want to share what the product offers and their experience with it. And so if you go to Veemo.ca, we have a dealer and ambassador section where you can reach out to any of the dealers that stock Veemo or the ambassadors who have a Veemo and who are willing to provide a test ride or just give you a little bit of a sort of demo and talk to you about the experience that they've had so far with Veemo. So that's sort of the path that we're going down. But of course, if you are interested in buying a Veemo and you're local to Vancouver, we're in just the border of Burnaby, and we offer test rides here as well. So you're welcome to come and try the Veemo here as well. But then you can also just order the Veemo online and have it shipped directly to your door. So there's a couple different options that you have.
Very good. All right. We touched on the idea of pricings, which I had said I thought was very competitive. Tell us how the pricing is set for the Veemo.
Yeah, so the Veemo is set at $6,999 in the US. We think it's quite a competitive price. You compare it to anything else on the market, which, I mean, there's really not very much else on the market that is similar to Veemo. But I think it's a great value proposition for the features that you're getting. In Canada, unfortunately, with the exchange rate, the price is a little bit higher here. But even still, it's, I think, quite a good value proposition.
I can tell you that there are plenty of recumbent trikes that are decked out moderately and with electric assist that are easily in that ballpark, if not even more expensive. So I find that very competitive and compelling. That's interesting. All right. How about availability? Where are you with this? I know you have the ambassadors out there with a few of them. You had a first run. What's production looking like right now?
Yeah. So we've been in production for almost a year now, actually. And we have Veemos out in the wild being ridden, and we also have Veemos in stock. So you can order a Veemo today and expect to deliver it fairly soon, depending on where you are. We have a warehouse in LA that we can ship directly to our customers if you're on the States side, and then we also have Veemos here in Canada. So and then again, we ship worldwide. So there's a little bit more logistics to figure out when we're shipping to Europe or other places around the world, but we do actually have customers in Germany, Austria, in the UK. So we do ship everywhere.
Very nice. All right. Let's finish up, if we could, with a little maybe look into the future. Maybe starting out with, I saw on the website, the Veemo LT. So it looked like maybe a Veemo without the shell type of thing. Tell me about the LT, and maybe Ali, you could finish up. Tell us about any future plans for Envo and the Veemo, down the line.
Yeah, so the Veemo LT is, like you mentioned, a version of the Veemo without the shell over top. So that allows us to put a rack on the rear section of Veemo where you could potentially carry a child or any extra cargo, groceries, things like that, in sort of like a rack sort of situation. And that also brings the price down, because one of the challenges with Veemo actually is just the size of that polycarbonate and ABS shell that we have on it is just more expensive to ship and to produce. So bringing the Veemo LT as an option means that we can bring that price point down and offer it to those customers who might not be in need of the protection from the elements factor, but they are still interested in the stability that a trike style vehicle offers, or just the comfort that comes with having a nice big seat and a position that you ride in.
Okay. And now, Lee, what do you see for the future here? Any other products or production developments that you see coming up that you can share?
Definitely, we have in our pipeline. We have tons of ideas to develop and build and commercialize, but we don't want to do it alone. The fact that we are proud of creating this ecosystem, that's enough for us. That really fulfill our thirst and ambitions. And we are raising hand to shake hand with anyone who has potential ideas. The micromobility we do see in this. In this era is just the tip of the iceberg. Like 20 years down the road, there will be products that we don't even imagine today. So these things need to be realized and produced and commercialized. We are here to help. We're trying to make that ecosystem that helps this commercialization. But at the same time, we invite people to, hey, come join us. Bring your ideas. Let's do what we can make together. And it's not just about every idea, is ideas that can be commercialized and ideas that there are people out there expecting them to buy, own, and use.
Very nice. So you're open for collaboration. I think that would be a great idea. And gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing the very interesting information about Envo and Veemo. And we will be keeping our eyes on you. I will put the links to the website and YouTube channel in our description below, and we look forward to seeing some more great things from this company and these products. So thanks again for joining us on the Late Back.
Thank you, Gary, for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Gary.
Bye.
All right, and there is Sam with us live right now to respond to your questions and comments on live chat, and I have a few of them set up already. Sam, I'm glad you could join us live today. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, nice to be here.
All right, bud. Let's start here. We've got a question from Daryl Jordan. So he says, yeah, it must ride wonderfully, but how do you park it securely? And how is it for long-term outdoor storage? And I actually have here, there's also from Glenn Aldridge. He says the drawback to these types of vehicles is that they are not easily secured from theft and being left out in the bad weather. So we can kind of group those together. How do you respond to the idea of securing this, the Veemo?
Yeah, so one of the benefits of having it a little bit more on the bike side rather than the automotive side, being lightweight and a little bit easier to maneuver, is that you can actually just lock it up just like a regular e-bike. So the rear fork is kind of a good area to use because it's got a relatively strong but also thin enough frame that you can just throw a U-lock around. And then we are planning to add additional security features. But again, just like owning a bike, you have to be somewhat careful about it. Try not to leave it unattended for too long. Yeah, and then on the longer term outdoor storage side of things, we've tried to use as much aluminum and corrosion resistant materials as possible. So bolts are zinc plated, and yeah, we've had a focus on corrosion resistance. So basically doing everything we can in order to minimize that. Of course, like any product, if you store it inside of a garage or something covered, that's going to be your best bet. But yeah, that's kind of the idea.
Yeah, that covers that pretty well. All right. Now let's get two more here that are kind of related as well. So Daryl also says he's moving to a new apartment, and parking is a big factor on where he's going to move. Is it considered a motor scooter or a bicycle? And Jeffrey says legal designation is probably subject to local, federal, and state laws. You'd have to check your local laws. Of course, that's true. So where does this fall in terms of the legal and kind of requirements that you'll have in the U.S.? I think it's state by state sometimes, having to do with 3 wheels or 4 wheels, and Canada, maybe you can respond to that as well.
Yeah. So generally Veemo is considered an e-bike. So that comes with a lot of benefits, actually, because that means that you can ride it in a bike lane, and you can use it the way that you use a bicycle. So it, like you mentioned, or I think it was Jeff in the comments mentioned, it will depend on the local laws. There is sort of some responsibility that the owner of the Veemo needs to take, make sure that it's okay in their specific region. But generally it's defined as a bicycle, so you can be in bike lanes. That means you can skip traffic and get to your destination a lot easier. And then also on the parking, like apartment side, that'll probably be up to your landlord or whatever your specific situation is. So if you have indoor parking and there's like a motorcycle section, you can probably park your Veemo there. But again, it's sort of a case-by-case situation.
Of course. All right. So here's an unusual one. I had to look and see what this was. Michael asks, is there any timeline for the UPT microcar? I don't know if I can pop that on the screen and show folks what we are talking about. Larry, can you do that? The share with, here, let's try that. Oops, that's not what it is. Hang on a second here. Sorry. Well, you know what the microcar is, yes? So
I can give a little description.
Yeah, I'll play while you're talking, see if I can get that picture up.
Yeah. So the UPT is a separate project from Veemo that we're working on. And the UPT is basically an electric skateboard platform on which you can build many different vehicles. And one of those vehicles is a microcar. So it's sort of trying to solve a similar problem to Veemo in terms of offering a smaller commuting solution that's going to be more efficient for getting around urban environments.
There we go.
And so this is something that we've been working on for the past that I've been working on in the last 2 years at least. And we are getting closer and closer to market with the product. It's something that requires, similar to what Ali touched on earlier in the interview, there's a significant amount of capitalization that's required in order to get a product like that, all through engineering and development and then homologation and everything. So we are still sort of in the process of getting that to market now. We don't have a very specific timeline that I can provide, but we are basically finished the engineering development of it. It's maybe got some fine tuning and sort of control systems and software systems to be fleshed out, but on the mechanical side, we're quite far along. And now it's more about regulation and understanding the market and building a business around it. So that's sort of the state we're at.
Very good. And Larry, could you bring Peter up, please? I think Peter Stoll has a question or comment. Peter, what do you have?
Well, I'm sorry, but I want to start by saying I think that this whole niche market is hot, will be hot. I went to the factory and rode the Elf, and we took it out around town and did this and that with it. It was pretty impressive. But just comparing this to the Elf, this has got 2 or 3 times the suspension travel of an Elf. And that's really nice. At 20 miles an hour, that's really nice. And also the Elf is a foot wider, which made it really difficult to ship. An elf, if you put an elf in a crate, it took up more than half the width of a tractor trailer. So it was really obnoxious to deliver it. And when they shipped one, they would send a car from the factory to your house. So there were like 3 drivers that would drive a minivan or something, or a small truck to your house. So shipping was very expensive on those. So I think it's, many things I liked about the Elf I see here also. Some of the things I don't like about the Elf I see a lot less of here. So that's great. The price on your website is listed at $7,000. I'm assuming that's before the new American duty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we do. Yeah. There is basically a $450 charge for the import fee part of that, and then a shipping fee as well. But relative to anything else out there, I think it's still, I think it ends up being, well, $7,900, and yeah, pretty good value, I think.
$7,900 is very, very competitive. And we have $14,000 electric trikes on the floor without any enclosure.
We talked a little bit about that.
They're very nice. They're really nice. And
Sam, can I stay with us, Peter? I believe you said during the interview that you had like a depot in California or something where you had some. So are those vehicles there, and would they be exempt at this point since they pre-existed any sort of tariffs or not?
Yeah, so the vehicles that we have there were shipped fairly recently. And I mean, we're trying to just kind of keep a standardized model going forward. So those will be sort of subject to the same pricing as what we have on the website now. But yeah, so we do have that warehouse in LA, and that makes the shipping times a lot quicker. So if you ordered a Veemo now, we just had somebody order a Veemo yesterday, I believe, and it'll be arriving at their door in a week. So that's yeah, it's quite exciting. There's Veemos, quickly getting to people's doors, and it's a quickly growing community. So yeah, we're quite excited.
Very nice, very nice. Peter, was there anything more?
Are the Veemos in LA available for test rides?
Yeah, so that's something that we're sort of building out right now a little bit. So as soon as we do have a few ambassadors in LA, we'll add that to the website, and you'll be able to find them and contact them and meet up with them for a test ride. I will provide a contact for people to get a test ride in LA as well, if you just message us through the Veemo contact us page on the website. Yeah, so you will definitely be able to get a demo ride. Yeah.
And Sam had talked to me about, speaking of ambassadors, there's a gentleman in Ohio actually that is an ambassador. So you can check those out on the website as well. So test riding is important, Peter. I mean, obviously people want to try this out. And so I think you guys are working on that pretty well.
One thing I wanted to comment on actually that you brought up was just about suspension travel and the width of the Veemo compared to the Elf and that sort of thing. There's a really fine balance there to be had, because obviously the lower the center of gravity of the Veemo, the less suspension travel you can have with it, but also the more stability that you get from the vehicle. And then at the same time, your track width, the narrower you go, the more efficient it is for getting around tight spaces in the city. But at the same time, you again lose some stability. So we spent a lot of time making sure that the Veemo was stable and safe to be used for cornering and those situations where you have to really take stability into consideration, but also trying to provide a nice, comfortable ride with good suspension qualities, and that side of it as well. So that was really a focus point for us, and I appreciate that you comment on that, because that is really one of the sort of in-depth engineering focuses that we had when bringing the Veemo to market. So it's sort of one thing that I always want to mention to customers as well, to really understand the limits of Veemo before they start going way too fast around corners and all that kind of thing. Yeah, so it's a unique feature of the product.
Sam, before we finish up here, I got a question that Honza sent us through Recumbent News, and it's from Cora Muse, who says they've ridden similar light electric vehicles at Spezi, and we talked about how there are going to be a lot of them there this year. Please ask about noisiness. So yeah, in-cabin noise with any kind of velomobile is always a thing. So have you guys done testing on that, or is there anything you can remark about?
Yeah, I mean, we've done quite a lot of iteration on the engineering side in order to address that. Like you said, there's only so much you can do because you are in a shell that has sort of some noise reverberation qualities to it. But we have redesigned the body mounts on the latest generation in order to include, well, firstly, just a more rigid body mount, but then also a foam layer in between the body mount and the polycarbonate shell, which is going to dampen some of the vibrations going from the main frame structure to the shell. And that significantly reduces the noise. And then just using bushings and making sure everything is tight and built just really solidly as possible is translating to just a really solid ride feeling, and getting rid of all of those vibrations and noises that you might experience. So having some suspension travel, having sort of noise or NVH reduction components like those body mounts, and then obviously just making sure that you maintain your Veemo and ensure that everything's tight is kind of the best way to address that. That
sounds good. All right, I think we're going to move along. Peter, is that okay? We're good? Yeah, go ahead.
Does it have dynamic braking?
It just has the same braking that you would get on a hydraulic e-bike.
Okay, so it has lots of braking, but it won't recharge batteries. Great. Hey,
yeah,
I think you've got a good niche, and I think you're doing it sounds to me like it's the best bike that's been in that niche that I've heard of. It's not hard to get in and out of, like some of the more sporty things. Pod bike looks really neat, but it's gonna be hard to get in and out of. But this is taking the ELF and moving towards a more practical, balanced
modern
approach, I think.
Right.
I'm excited to see you guys take off. This is great.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, Peter, thanks for all that. And Sam, thank you so much then for sharing all the info about Veemo, you and Ellie. We really appreciate the Veemo, and we wish the best for it. Like Peter said, we hope you guys are successful. We'll stay in touch. So I hope you will too.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Thanks. All right. With that, I think we're going to move on to talk a little bit about Spezi. It is amazing, as always. Trey and I, as we've said before, are heading down to Germany again this year at the end of April. And I was lucky enough to have a chat with the Wolf brothers who produced the show. And they're going to tell you all about the 2025 version right now. Larry? We are here with Gabriel and Florian Wolf from the Spezi show. And we are here today to talk about the 2025 version of Spezi coming up at the end of April. Very glad to have you gentlemen with us today to bring us an update. How you doing?
All fine. Thank you. Spezi is coming, and we have a lot to do, but it's all on track.
Good. Well, okay. I guess that answers all my questions. Thank you. No. Let's get into some details, gentlemen. My audience, I'm sure, is anxious to hear what's going to be new and such at Spezi. So, yeah, let's talk about the preparations first. I know it's a huge undertaking to work on everything, put it all together every year. Tell us how the preparations are going this year.
Actually, we are too late, and No, it's working fine. Yeah, we don't have any troubles so far.
Yes, and there are many exhibitors, so for the Spezi it's quite good, and we think it would be a great Spezi again, and that's very important again in Lauchringen in the south of Germany.
Yeah,
right, just north of Switzerland, and a beautiful location. It is a wonderful place and a wonderful event and a great location. So we, Laid Back Bike Report, will be attending again this year. Trey and I and our wives will be heading to Lauchringen. Very excited. Last year, we just had such a great time. You fellas were so kind and welcoming to us and letting us in on all the interesting secrets of Spezi so that we could interview and find out all that's going on. So with that, why don't we talk a little bit about what you're most excited about this year? You mentioned a bit about the exhibitors. Do you have some interesting new ones that you're excited to see that you want to talk about?
Yeah, actually, two points. We will get more Veemo-Mobile on the test track. That's one point, and there are more electric Velomobiles. So it's called LEVs or light electric Velomobiles. Sorry, and we've got about 10 more projects like this.
Right. Florian, did you mean that, so you mentioned the Velomobiles on the test track. Do you just mean you'll have more Velomobiles there, or do you have a separate test track? What did you mean by that?
No, it's the same test track, but it will be the first time that you can test a fast Velomobile. So if you like to go really fast, you have to go outside. I don't know if the exhibitor allows this, but we are looking forward to. But it's really interesting. There is a French association, and it's a cooperation of LEVs, of light electric vehicles, and they will bring about 10 different LEVs. And I never saw these vehicles, and so it's really interesting to see all these different vehicles.
And we have still this 2 test tracks. So you have the smaller one. It's about 1 kilometer inside of the area, and then we have the second one. It's outside on a closed street. And so you have really good ways to test those bikes.
Right. So when you mentioned as long as the Velomobile owners allow, that's the test track that you were talking about on the street, where they could kind of open it up and see how fast it can go and have a little more freedom to ride in a more open area. Is that what you meant by that?
Yeah. Yes. Exactly like this.
Yeah. That's right.
And this is the road that goes alongside the venue up that hill. Is that the same as last year? Is that what we're talking about?
It's the same like last year. It's not easy to close this street because Germany is quite a car country, but it should be fine.
Yes,
right.
We have the permission to close the street.
Permission.
Good. Yes. Yep. So Germany is very car-centric, as we are here in the U.S. And right. So, but yeah. So that's what you're trying to change with presenting all of these light electric vehicles. Which, honestly, this is the thing that stands out to me from looking at the exhibitors. It's very exciting. I look forward to interviewing many of those guys with the light electric vehicles. Any other major changes? Anything that's new and changed from last year?
Yeah, just a short point to the test track. We can remove 2 of the pedestrian crossways, so there is less stop and go, and you can go around way smoother than last year.
Oh, good. So that you're talking about inside the buildings? Yeah,
Yes.
because you guys did a great job with crossings and everything, but they were quite a thing. So yeah, eliminating that I'm sure is going to help out. So, all right, let me ask something about the Innovators Lab. I always enjoy going and talking to the interesting people there. Anything to highlight there that you see coming?
Not yet, especially. We've got 5 inventions right now, but it's quite normal to get more in the last days before Spezi. So I'm looking forward, and right now there are no special news about this, but it's.
But there will be brand new trikes and quads at the Spezi. So not at the inventory lab, but we have 2 brand new exhibitors, and I think it's quite interesting to test these bikes because I've never seen them.
Good. Yeah. And so that's good. We'll look forward to seeing those as well. All right. Let's get into the details of the event itself. We've already mentioned it's going to be in Lochringen, Germany, in the very southern part of Germany. The event, can you give us the dates?
Yes, it's the 26th and 27th April. So the Saturday and Sunday, Saturday and Sunday.
And the times, like 10 to 5 kind of thing?
From 10 o'clock to 6 p.m.
Good.
And on Saturday, there will again be a party.
Yeah, evening party and food the whole evening. And there will be a breakfast from 7:30 in the morning as well. And you have the tent meadow and the community hall for cheap overnight
accommodations there. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Widely used. And yeah, the food, we should just mention briefly, you guys have amazing food offerings there. Food trucks, and then people set up in like they have like booths there where they offer all kinds of different food and drink. You guys do a wonderful job with that. So people can come. It's like a festival. That's what I always say about Spezi. It's not so much just a trade event. It's a festival. People come and have a good time, bring their families, bring their own bikes. It's quite an amazing thing. So that's great. All right. And they can purchase tickets by going to your website?
That's right.
Yeah.
The tickets costs 12 euros. And for the whole weekend, so it's about 20 euros.
But we have a reduced one for younger people, or so just take a look, and the accommodation for the tent meadow is about €7 each night. Yeah.
Very reasonable. Okay. And so accommodations, you talked about the tent meadow, the camping. What's the situation with hotels there for folks who haven't done anything about it now? Do you know, is it difficult right now for hotels?
Not yet, still not yet, because of course it's not such a big city, but there are a lot of hotels and flats to rent around Lauchringen. And just yesterday I took a look to the offer still available, and there is still a lot, so it's quite easy.
Good. And transportation. So I know you have trains.
Like last year, we have the shuttle bus. It's a quite big public bus from
the train station to
Tingen.
Yeah, from the train station Tingen to the venue to the Spezi.
And it's going around each half an hour, so twice each hour. And so it's really, really easy to get fast back to Basel, for example, or to Zurich. It's quite okay. And you can use the Spezi ticket as a train
ticket
or bus tickets. About around Spezi, about 10 kilometers.
Oh, wow. That's really nice. Oh, wow. Okay. That's good. All right. I think that's all I had in the way of questions. Let me just finish up by asking you if you had anything you wanted to add. Maybe a request to folks to come to Spezi. Why should they come? What's there? What should they see?
Yeah, you told it before. It's not only a trade fair; it's a festival. It's such a great event for
the whole family.
Yeah. For example, we growth.
There will be a bigger children's fun park
with lots of small bicycles for the children.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and it's the only place on the whole world to find and test so many bicycles like Recumbents, Velomobiles, trike, cargo bikes as well. So you are into it and you have fun to ride and to have a good time. And so such bicycles, you have to come to Spezi.
Well, gentlemen, I've been to quite a few events around the world. There's nothing like Spezi whatsoever. You're exactly right. My favorite event. I love it. I'm so excited to go and see you guys again. So thanks again for coming on the Laid Back Bike Report, sharing the information about Spezi, fellas. And I look forward to seeing you in about 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's right.
You better be ready. You better be ready. So keep working.
We will be ready, of course.
Okay. Thanks very much, Gabriel, Florian, Wolf. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, about 3 weeks to go now. And go to Spezi if you at all can. I really recommend it. All right. Let's stay in that area of the world. Let's go to Switzerland and have a chat with a pal of mine, David Brandenberger, who runs the Solatrike project. And he's been all over the world. He's going to tell us about it right now. With me now from Switzerland is my pal, David Brandenberger. David, how are you?
Hi, thanks. I'm fine. Unfortunately,
David,
you don't see the beautiful mountain behind me. That's the famous Eiger North Face.
Yeah, David lives in a beautiful place there in Switzerland. And David is with us today, for those of you who don't know, to tell us about the amazing worldwide tour that he has been on for 10 years or so. David was last with us in Australia about 6 years ago. And so we're going to bring everything up to date. He's got a lot of exciting stuff to tell us about his upcoming continuation of the tour. So, David, first of all, you were kind enough to send me a video that outlined your the history of your tour and where you've been. So why don't we take a look at that right now?
The journey started in 2014 in Asup in Uherský Brod, where I made a short trial round around Czech Republic to Brno and a little bit Austria and back to Uherský Brod. And then in July 2015, I started for my trip from Uherský Brod around Poland, up to the sea, and then to Eastern Germany, back to Czech Republic, back to Uherský Brod, where I went to Asup for some changes. And then I went through Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, down to Greece, around Greece, and then to Crete, a short trip to Santorini, and then to Turkey around the coast, and then a short around northern Cyprus, then crossing Turkey from south to north along the Black Sea, and then to Georgia. There I made a short detour to Armenia for a little bit of holiday. And then I went through Azerbaijan and Iran, and here I made a side trip without a trike a little bit in Iran, and then I went all the way to Mashhad. Then I had to fly to Samarkand and to Tashkent, where my trike arrived by plane as well, but I had to leave the trailer behind, so I had to rebuild a new trailer here in Tashkent at the window frame factory. So with a new trailer I went on from Uzbekistan through Kazakhstan to Kyrgyzstan. In Bishkek I settled my trike and I went for some a trip and a hike up to the mountains and back to Bishkek, and that was around 2016, where I left the trike during the winter in Bishkek, went home to Switzerland, came back in spring 2017 with a friend of mine. He came along with me from Kyrgyzstan through Kazakhstan to the Chinese border. There he went back and I drove further on alone through China down to the Gobi Desert, and then around Guangzhou, Ningxia, and up to Hohhot, where I had to leave the country for a short time. So I went to Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia, made it a short trip, and back to Hohhot, and then I went with a trike further on to Beijing and on the coast, where I put the trike into a ferry and I went to South Korea. So I drove all the way to South Korea to Busan, and then I shipped the trike to Hong Kong, and in that meantime I went to Taiwan, take a round trip with a train around Taiwan, and then I went to Hong Kong. Yeah, I wanted to go further on with the trike to Southeast Asia. That wasn't possible, so I shipped it to Australia, and in the meantime, as I got the Australia visa, I visited Hainan Island by train, and then as I had the visa, I shipped the trike to Australia, and I went by a plane to Hanoi, made a short trip to the sea and up to the mountain, and then all through Vietnam to Ho Chi Minh City, and then I took a flight via Singapore to Darwin, and then I had to wait for my trike to come, so I went to Kakadu National Park, got the trike there, and in Darwin I rebuilt a new trailer as well, so I had my third trailer, and then I went on my trip first through northern Australia, then to West Australia to Broome, then down to the west coast to Perth, and down to south, and all along the Nullarbor, and up down to Port Lincoln, up and down to Adelaide. In Adelaide, I went out of the country because of visa regulations down to Bali, made a round trip in Bali, came back to Adelaide, and went further on with a trike to Melbourne, and there I had to wait for new solar panels, so in the meantime I went to Tasmania, went down to the overland track by foot, and then a friend took me around Tasmania with a road trip, and I went back to Melbourne, packed the new solar panels on the trike. Then I went further on up till Sydney, and in Sydney I shipped it to New Zealand, and I went in the meantime to Fiji, just had a brief look around. Then I went down to Auckland, get my trike, and first I went around the Northland loop, and then a North Island around Mount Taranaki down to Wellington, and then further on to the South Island, and I did some hiking trips in these areas, and further on the east coast down to Christchurch, and then I went a little bit through the mountains down to Invercargill, and then I made some short hikings down on Stewart Island, and went back cycling And then I had to go back to Christchurch, and there it was 2020 March, where the lockdown happened and everything was closed, all the border crossings and everything was closed. So I spent half a year in Christchurch and wrote my book and did some other works. So I could do a lot of work anyway. Then in September 2002, I went back home to Switzerland, published a book. Then I translated it to English, made an English version of the book, did some shows, and beside, for sure, I was working. And in 2024, in April, I went back to New Zealand, to Christchurch, got my trike, shipped it back further on to Vancouver, and in that time I visited some islands in Vanuatu, some islands in Solomon Islands. Then I went further on to Philippines, where I did some short trips here. Then I had short breaks in Hong Kong, where I met some friends. And then I flew all the way to Vancouver in Canada. Then I got my trike here, and I headed off through British Columbia all the way up to Prince George, over the Rocky Mountains, or basically not the Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains are ending here, so I was a little bit further up, all to Darwin Creek. And then I had to do a kind of a detour because Jasper National Park was burned down. So I went all around and then went through Banff National Park to Calgary, and then up to Drumheller to Edmonton, where my trike is still there. But I wanted to see something more of the country, so I headed off by train to Winnipeg, further on to Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec, and then I met a nice friend here in the Sherbrooke area. And that was the end of my Canada journey in 2024. So this May I will go back to Edmonton and then further on south. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's awesome. What an epic tour you have been on. David, let's take a closer look at the rig, what you have been riding. Tell us a little bit about the trike and the trailer that you've been using.
So the trike and the first trailer was made in Czech Republic at ASUP. I had to make some advertisements. And so they built that according to my ideas. And Honza and Carol, they did already 7,000 kilometers, more than 7,000 kilometers on the Sun trip. And they could just get all their experience into my project. And so they were still ready with all this experience, and so they just put everything in my project, and I went on for my tour. So the trike itself is an ASUP T-Tris 20. So it has everywhere 20 inches wheels in the front, in the back, and in the trailer. So I don't have to carry different sizes of tires and tubes. And the trailer is just something that they made for an unknown thing, and they was dangling somewhere in the barn. And as I came along, they said, "Oh, we now can use that thing." And so we used that for my project. And so that's kind of made at ASUP as well. And we combined that, put the solar panels on it, and I put my huge stuff of luggage in it and went on my trip. Yeah, during the trip, you have seen in the video that I rebuilt the trailer 2 times, once in Uzbekistan and once in Darwin. And I hope that's the last one, because I really don't want to make a new trailer anymore.
Makes sense. Yeah. David, did you talk about the e-assist system? What are you using for your motors?
Oh yeah, I use mainly a hub motor in the back wheel. That's the motor that I use most of the time. That goes from 10 to 25 kilometers an hour. I don't know how or the mileage. And for the steep uphills, because I'm very heavy with that load, I will easily drop down below 10 kilometers an hour. So Honza suggested that to me, to build a mid-drive motor in front of the pedals. So that is attached with a single speed chain to the motor, and that goes about 4 to 8 kilometers an hour. So that can drag me up the hills very slowly, like a snail's pace, so to say.
David, so is this implemented now? So you have the mid-drive motor and a hub motor now, is that correct?
Yeah, so I still have 2 motors.
Good. Now, would you want to share with us what the current motors are? What do you have? Do you know? The hub motor and the mid-drive? You've been through a lot of them, I understand.
One is Enduro, Electroride. That's from the US somewhere. That's the hub motor, and the other one is from Taiwan. I can't remember the name. I have to look up on my own website. I write it down on my website on technical information.
Maybe we'll look that up and we'll put that in text below so that we know. Okay, good enough. All right, let's get to a very basic question that I'm sure people want to know after they've learned all the amazing places you've been and the trials that you've been through. Why are you doing this, David? Why do you tour? Why do you want to go around the world with a Solatrike?
Because I'm stupid. No, I think I don't know. I really like to travel, and but last time, as I was in South America, riding around with buses, and so you always see some beautiful places outside, and you just pass, and you don't get back there easily. So I thought next time I have to go on my own transport, and the bike was a suitable thing. But the thing is, I carry too much stuff, so I had to come up with a solution to carry all these things. So first I thought about an electric motor, and then where to charge the batteries, where there is no socket nowhere in the desert or in the forest or so I came up with solar panels. I had no idea about that, but I finally found the right people who had some ideas. And the other thing is, as I turned about around 40 or so, I was still single, solo, no woman, so I was a little bit too ugly, I guess. And then I thought, what the heck? Why should I just work until I'm retired and then fall over dead or whatever? So I just go on touring and see the world before that. And now, 10 years later, I'm still ugly, I'm still solo, but I'm still traveling.
So adventure clearly became part of your life, and you wanted to include that in your life. So with that in mind, let me ask a question about some of the dangerous situations you might have encountered, part of the adventure. Can you give me an idea about some of the things that might have scared you along this trip?
The highways in China, they were wide and barely no traffic on it. And there was a big shoulder I could ride on, so there was no problem at all. But at some points, there was a construction site, and they urged me to go on that construction site. I mean, in China, when they want to rebuild something, they tear everything down and build from the bottom again. So that road was completely not existent. It was kind of a dirt track, had a gap like that on each side, and I couldn't move out because otherwise I would just tip over. And there were trucks running up and down this dirt track, dust raised up everywhere. So I was completely sunken in that dust. No one could see me. I put on the lights, but still there was a truck coming right in front of me, just on my lane. And I didn't know, what shall I do? Will he overrun me, or shall I just jump out and leave the trike overrun, or what? I really didn't know how to react. What shall I do? So I pushed my horn, my air horn. That is the loudest thing that I could do. In the last moment, he saw me or he heard me, I don't know, and he swerved around me, and that was kind of scary. The other scary moment was in Turkey, as I went in the middle of a storm up on a hill, and I was riding in the rainstorm, lightning flashes, thunderstorm, and I was on top of a hill, and I had these flags behind my ears pointing up to the sky with the flashes all over. The lightnings all over. That was kind of scary, but yeah, otherwise all good.
Very good. All right. Yeah, that sounds a little dangerous for sure. All right. So those are dangerous situations. How about some highlights? I'm sure you have many highlights to talk about, but when you think back of all of the miles you pedaled, what stands out in your mind as the highlight?
Well, that is really a hard question to tell, because I really can't tell which is the most beautiful or so. There are beautiful landscapes and dull landscapes everywhere. But one thing is the generosity and hospitality along the road. That is really amazing, especially in Iran. But also in some places where you don't expect it, and yeah, so people come up to you and invite you or give you something to eat or whatever. It's just amazing, and I think that is the most that is one of the highlights I think on the road. I can't compare landscapes, because landscapes are so unique everywhere and beautiful everywhere.
Absolutely. Okay, great. Let's bring it up to date then. Let's talk about this year, because you have some really interesting plans that you have made, and I want you to share those with everyone. So let's talk about touring this year, 2025. What is your plan?
So my plan is to go back to Edmonton, where my trike is still standing there and waiting for me, and then go south. That means go to the US border, and I hope this gentleman is in a good mood and let me in that day. And then I will go a little bit zigzagging around the west of the US. I try to cover a lot of national parks for sure, because I really want to see these beautiful landscapes, and it's so stunning. I can't wait to see all of this. Yeah, I had I made kind of a rough plan where to go. And for sure, I always have to make some corrections here and there, or did a little bit a detour here or there. Just like it depends on the situations where I will be at that time.
How long do you plan on continuing to do this? Is that as long as you can, or what are your plans for the future?
I mean, yeah, the motor is as far and as long as I can, but the thing is, as far or as how much money I still have, it depends on my saving as well. So roughly 4 or 5 years. And then I will be 60, so I think that will be a good time to stop this whole thing. But I will see. I don't know. That depends on so much factors. I really don't know. Yeah, I mean, after the US, I tried to cross Mexico and Central America and South America. But yeah, if I can do it or where and how, I really have no clue at the moment.
Fair enough. All right. So support. So you were talking about you can also do it as long as you don't run out of money. Well, you do take donations, I've noticed. This will take us to your website. So tell us a little bit about your website for people that want to support you and what they might find on the website, and how can people donate to your cause?
Oh, well, yeah, you can visit my website and spend hours, days, months to see all what I put on. I have folders for every country, for every theme, whatever, and photos from the of the Solatrike, where I was in every region. I have heaps information of the build of the Solatrikes, the technical information I have information about when you want to ride with me, or when you want to donate, or so there is a sponsor site, or there is a I can't tell. It is so huge, my website. You really can spend hours, especially to see all the Solatrike videos or the other videos that I make as well, or also listen to my music. Yeah, that's huge. Yeah. And
David, so yeah, let's mention that too. So David is multi-talented, folks. He does, first of all, he makes beautiful videos, so you should check them out. You'll get a little taste of that from the video that you saw earlier, and also the video you're going to see here in a minute. He made a short kind of promotional video of his book. So yes, David also writes. There we go. We're going to see a little promotion about that, and don't forget his music. He plays wonderful guitar, and see, now I thought you were going to pull the guitar off from over here and just start.
No,
don't worry about it. Folks, if you want to hear David play the guitar, we also had him on the show a second time a few years ago on one of my least watched videos of all time. Not because of David, I'm not going to say that, but I don't know, but I guess people aren't that interested. But if you want to go look for Recumbent music videos on Laidback Bike Report, look it up. You'll see David playing there. And he makes the point of this is he also makes the music for his videos. He does a great job with that. I think that needs to be said. Now, let's go at this point to take a look more closely at your book. All right, so there's David's book, guys. Lots of information in there. Yep. Interesting stories, lots more than what you're going to see here. So help them out. Buy the book. It's great. All right, David, let's finish it up then. Anything else you want to say as we say goodbye then today?
Yeah, about the book. The thing is, it's a beautiful copy, but unfortunately, shipping it from Europe to America is quite very expensive. I don't think that Amazon is it's available on Amazon in the US. I don't know. But you can have a PDF from myself. It's cheaper, but if you put the right settings, it's just like the book. If anybody wants to host me along the way through the US, you're very welcome to drop me a line and invite me to your home.
David will be very entertaining if you do that, folks. It's something that you should think about if he's coming close to where you live. So, all right, David Brandenberger, David the Beaver, also known as. We are so happy to have had you on the show again. We wish you all the luck in the world on your upcoming tour. We'll stay in touch. You be careful, and we'll see you around, David.
Thank you very much.
And you're seeing him right now. Hi, David. Glad you could join us live today from Switzerland. How are you doing?
Hi. Fine. Yeah, still good. Yeah.
Good. We have a few questions and comments for you I want you to address, but you did mention something about having some updates since we did that recording. Is there something that's changed from what you said about your upcoming trip?
Yeah, unfortunately, big changes. I had to shorten my plan. And due to my mother's health, so she is not very good at the moment, and it's getting worse. So and other political reasons as well. Unfortunately, I had to skip the US, so I won't come through the US and also not further south. I will skip US, Mexico, and everything further south. And instead, I will go from Edmonton south to Calgary as well, but then a little bit further south to Lethbridge, and then heading east to Halifax in the end, and then I will ship the Solatrike back to Europe. So, and yeah, that's the big change.
Okay, so you're still planning on leaving in May, though? Is that also the case?
That is still the case, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the flight didn't. I didn't cancel the flight, so that's. I will go back to Edmonton still in May. That will be the same. Yeah.
Okay. Well, sorry to hear about your mom. We hope that she is doing better. David, let's get into a few of the questions here. First of all, we have TR Play that says, how much money this in? So you laid out that extensive travel over all those years, and you talked about how you want to go on as long as you can or until the money runs out. So kind of a personal question, and you don't have to answer specifically, but maybe you want to give some sort of round figure as to how much you think you have spent over all those years for this travel.
The thing is, Swiss people don't talk about money. No, I really don't know how much money that was, and I don't want to know. I just have a look at my bank account, and if there is still something left, then it's okay, and say, okay, I can go further on, and then I can. Okay, I will see how much I spent in this year or that year, and so, and then I can plan ahead and say, okay, if I will go on like that, spending the same amount of money like this, I can travel this and that year or months more until I'm broke. But yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a legitimate plan. So, all right, fair enough. Let's go on to this question here. Jeffrey asks, what country has the most considerate car drivers? Where did you feel most comfortable on the road, I guess?
I can't say. Yeah, there's some good car drivers everywhere. There are some stupid car drivers everywhere. Where is the best ones?
Okay, we have stumped David on that one, so that's all right. It's all right. We talked about.
There's always some questions. You think you hear every question on this trip, and just someone come up with something that you never have been asked before, and say, well, I don't know.
Yeah, that's our job here, is to try to stump you. All right, I think you might be able to handle this next one. Let's see. Glenn Aldridge, Do your solar panels provide a full charge on your batteries even on cloudy days?
It depends on so many factors that I can't tell. I mean, yeah, even on cloudy days, it depends on how cloudy the days are and how far that I have to go. How is the surface of the road? How is the air pressure on my tires? How is my fitness anyway? How, and. So the most of the time, the solar panels provide full charge. Yeah, and I have to say, this summer in from Vancouver to Edmonton, I rode 100% on solar because my charger didn't handle the 110 voltage. So I couldn't charge
Through the
beside
plugs, you
through
had to
the
use
plugs.
solar. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one in as emergency or so, but that one just didn't work. So I ordered one that can handle 110 volt as well. But that summer it was really going 100%. And once I was going up a big hill in Banff National Park, and it was so cloudy, it was so overcast, and the battery dropped and dropped and dropped, and I said, no, it's not gonna work, it's not gonna go. So I had to stop somewhere. I could go on a parking lot, and I looked up. There was clouds. I couldn't see the sun anywhere. As I didn't know where the sun is. So I pitched a tent, and I waited, and I thought, okay, that's it. That's the end of the day. But after more than 1 hour, the battery was charged, even at that cloudy day or so. And so I packed the tent and went on. And after half an hour, I was on the pass and just keep on riding.
So all
So
things
yeah.
considered, it sounds like that the solar panels really do generally a very good job for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This will be the end of it here. And I think this is a great place to leave it. Alex Hoffander has chipped into the chat to say, David, the original Solar World Tour. You inspired me to follow and do the same. Best of luck in May. So David tips his hat to you, Alex. Thank you for those very nice words for David, and I agree with them as well. So, all right, let's pop that off of there, David. I think we're going to probably leave it there. Again, our best wishes for your trip and for your mother's health. And maybe as we say goodbye, you could play us out. You have a little tune you want to kind of give us a few seconds of.
Yeah, I wrote a tune, Back on Track. It's not only because I'm back on track, it's also if someone went through a period of dark time, of a time that is, I don't know, injuries or whatever, bad time or so, and got back on track. So that's just a little bit of
give us a little.
I hope you can hear it. Back on track, and so I'm over it. Back on track, and roaming the road again. Back on track, and back on the streets again. Showing the world I'm over it. Back on track.
All right, David, thank you so much. We were not able to hear the guitar, but we heard your voice. And when we invite you back next time, maybe you'll be back on track with the guitar as well. So, David, best of luck, pal. Thanks for coming on to Layback Bike Report.
Thanks.
All right. Okay, folks, let's let's thank our sponsors, without whom we couldn't do any of this. We're going to kick it off with the first sponsor. It's TerraCycle. Riding comfort, style, and laid-back bliss. At TerraCycle, we've been laid back since 1996. See more at t-cycle.com. And Trailside Trikes. If you find yourself in Florida near the Withlacoochee Trail, check out Andrew's shop and amazing crew. And TerraTrike Green Speed, the best in leisure, performance, adventure touring, electric, and portability. Wherever your adventure leads, TerraTrike will take you there. And Green Speed, where Ian Sims designs bring performance through science and engineering. And Laid Back Cycles, your go-to store for Catrike, Ice, TerraTrike, and now AZUB recumbent trikes. They ship nationwide and offer financing to get you rolling. Plus, check out Laid Back Mickey on YouTube for all the latest tips and reviews on recumbent trikes. And Bicycle Man, where you can find new and used recumbent trikes and bikes. We're located in Alfred Station, New York, and have over 100 bents in stock and ready to try. So why wait? Come ride, then decide. And AZUB will be exhibiting a wide range of two-wheelers and trikes at the Spezi show in Lochringen, Germany on April 26th and 27th. If you attend, you will have the opportunity to test ride the new Bosch Performance CX motor system. AZUB is the only mainstream recumbent brand to offer this top-of-the-line e-assist. Come see us at Spezi and try it out. And Connecticut Yankee Peddler. We feature multiple brands of trikes, including electric assist models. Test rides and Southern Iowa hospitality are always available at our mega store in Cheriton. And Stein Trikes, fully suspended and with 4 inches of travel over each wheel, our colorful trikes will have you gliding over rocks and curbs with ease. Wild one, I think I love you. Check out Stein-Trikes-US.com to learn more. And Rad Innovations. Rad Adaptive will be hosting the Trike Alley at the Philly Bike Expo, which they did last month. So just to let you know, they have recumbent trikes, hand cycles, and tandems from Honza, AZUB, Ice, Catrike, Rad, and more. All ages and abilities can handle these trikes, so check out Rad Innovations. All right, guys, let's get to the announcements. First of all, a note from my pal Stefano from Slyway. We want to pop up the slides. There we go. So Stefano wants to let us know that he's got the Slyway Bike Camp and Ultra Academy 2025 coming up. It's going to be June 22nd to June 27th in beautiful Lake Garda, Italy. Oh my gosh, that is a beautiful place. So now there will be group rides where you can ride your own recumbent bike, and there will be individual test rides on the latest Slyway Ultra. So participants will be evaluated on riding performance, social skills, and communication abilities. So there will be this contest with that evaluation, and the grand prize is a beautiful Slyway Ultra frame set, as you see it right there. So that is enticing. So if you're interested in attending, contact Stefano on Facebook, and you can find him on Facebook there at Slyway Recumbents. And you want to hit that next slide there? Yeah, there's other ways you can get a hold of Stefano as well. But we wish him luck with this event. All right, guys. I wanted to remind you that I just posted yesterday, or let you know, I don't know if I'm reminding you, I had a wonderful interview with the fellas down under who just achieved amazing world records. So we posted our interview with the Aussie world record holders from Team Tri-Sled and Team Phantom. Aiden Lamp, Kyle Lyrich, and Andrew Connolly each have achieved a world record, including Aiden's, who you see in the picture here, who went over 800 miles in his 24-hour run. It's incredible. We included the builders, Ben Goodall and Tim Corbett as well in the interview. So it's really something to learn about. We have some video of the event from last weekend as well. So I'm going to put the link to that video in the description below, or just head over to the Laid Back Bike Report YouTube channel and you can find it there. All right, guys, the next Laid Back Bike Report will be after Spezi, May 11th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to do our typical post-Spezi show where we have all the folks that have attended Spezi that we can find to become panelists and talk about what the highlights were that we saw. And then, of course, Trey and I will take lots of video, do all kinds of interviews, and I'll be putting that together, editing it all with individual and group videos after that. So please keep your eyes open for that. All right. Now, how can you support the Laid Back Bike Report? Well, you can like us on Facebook. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, and you can click that little white eye up there. It'll take you to the Laid Back Bike Report website, where you can find lots of more information about what we do. And you can also become Patreon members like all these fine folks for as little as $1 a month. We just had a new Patreon, K.A. Hansen, joined up just a few days ago. K.A., we sure appreciate that support as well. All right, that's going to pretty much do it. Let's get the crew on up, see who's left here today. There we go. Glad to see David's still with us, and Peter. Guys, thank you so much for helping us out today. A very interesting show, I thought, and we always appreciate all of your help. I couldn't do it without you, so thanks for that. And guys, thank you so much for watching today and every month on the Laid Back Bike Report. So until next time, from all of us here at the Laid Back Bike Report, so long, bent riders.